Oh, she's finding moss today. I thought that we would maybe talk about how nice it is out here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is so nice.
Isn't it nice? We got sunlight today, which is awesome. Much better than the clouds anyway. So, I mean, I like my rain and everything, but this is really nice after being clouded in for all of winter. Hey everybody. So I tried to find a quiet part of the park to just record at while Maya plays, but I don't know how quiet it's going to be over here. Anyway, so yeah, I thought maybe today we would talk about 5 things that maybe people who even know me don't know about me, and why not? So let's see, number 1, I am a complete and utter gamer. And I still am. I have been, I guess you could say, since I was little, like since the NES came out, but like really like since college, I guess, was when I really dove into it. Of course, I have to keep an eye on my kiddo. There she is. It's a fairly big park, but it's a very safe park, and so we're blessed in that we have really nice parks here and that they are very safe. She always finds kids to play with. Anyway, so yeah, video games. I used to play like D&D and Amber and role-playing games and that kind of stuff. What else? Comic book stuff, yes. And tabletop games, and I'm a movie lover. So yeah, all that good geeky stuff. And you know, geek, nerd, whatever. Whatever is the positive term these days. You know, when I was growing up, nerd was bad, and then it became good, and then geek was good, and nerd was bad, and now I think it's the other way around again, and I don't care. Whatever, I'm in that category. So, I'm proud of that, and I'm okay with that. So number 2, I'm a Scadian. So that means I'm part of the Society for Creative Anachronism, which is a worldwide organization that does recreations of the 1500s and before. Nothing we do is choreographed, it's all the real deal. I've done culinary competitions, I've done archery, I'm into all of that stuff, and we do have like what we call sword and board fighters, guys that get dressed up in armor and beat on one another. It's a regulated sport actually, and I will put a link actually to that down below because there's just so many facets to it, and it's so fascinating and so much fun. And now that when you're in Europe, we can play here in Europe, and my daughter has never actually been to an SCA event yet, so we will probably be at an SCA event soon. We're in a smaller area here in Germany, but we do have, I think we might be a shire here. We might not be big enough to be a barony. So we will see. Oh, Maya's coming up to say hi. You met a new friend? Awesome. Do you want to say hi? I can't point the camera towards the park, but if you want to come over here, you can say hi.
Hi, guys.
Here, you want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Oh, there she goes. Gonna take it from me. Anyway, so that is number 2. Are you gonna go play, baby? Okay, I love you. Aww. So number 3, I'm a complete and utter bookworm. I love books. I absolutely love books. I've loved books my whole life, like ever since I was really super little. I remember in kindergarten they used to give us assignments to take home for those of us who were reading, and my teacher would put like bookmarks in the book to read up to this point, and I'd bring it back the very next day completely read, and she was shocked. She thought I wasn't actually reading it all. My grandmother had to go in and like be like, yeah, no, she's reading it all in one sitting and then is done with the book. So I've always been a book lover, and I still am, although I still prefer a physical book to read. I do get books on like my Kindle app or my iBooks app, mainly because the only time I really have to read anymore is when she's getting ready for bed or when she's sleeping, and I can lay in bed and I can still read it without having a light on, like to shine on the book itself, and that just makes it more handy. It's not my favorite thing. I'd much rather just curl up with a good book and something hot to drink and just dive into a book. I haven't been able to do that in a long time. Like that, but I do still read. So, big bookworm. We also go to the library like all the time, and Maya is a budding bookworm herself. She loves her books, so we read a minimum of 3 a day together. not all of them before bed, but some of them. And one of her favorite apps is the Reading Rainbow app. I know she's 3, yes. She's a little young to be with all the electronics and everything already, but you know, it's the age we live in. So Reading Rainbow came back. They have this amazing app that you can pay a subscription for every year. It's very reasonable, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything. We just love it. Like, we love it. We've had it for 3 years now. Like, we've gotten it for every year since she was like 1.5, and she adores that app. So she'll actually sit down and have books read to her all day long through that app. So, but we sit down and I read to her all the time. It's one of the few things I never say no to, is if she brings me a book, we will sit down and make time and read. So, bookworm. And I wrote down a couple notes because I don't want to miss anything. So number 4. I went to high school in England. I was what they call a military brat, and if you're not in the community, it just basically means one of my parents was in the military, and so we moved around a lot when I was a kid. Just makes you very resilient and whatnot. But yeah, I went to high school in England. It was an amazing opportunity. It's not one that everybody has. I wish that we were here in Germany while she was in high school age, you know, but so she could have that experience of Europe when she's older. But she's got, you know, she's old enough now, she'll remember things, and hopefully she'll be able to come back to Europe and experience it when she is older. But it was awesome. I loved it. I have so many great memories of going there, and yeah, I was very blessed to have that in my life. So that was a great opportunity. Let's see, and number 5. Oh, okay. She's meeting new friends. So number 5, I'm kind of old school. My grandparents raised me from when I was up until 2nd grade. So, and I lived with them every summer after that. So like I said, one of my parents was in the military, and we did move around a lot, but one of my constants, home base, if you will, was always with my grandparents. My mom was going through nursing school, and I was kind of a high maintenance baby, so to help out, my grandparents took me on. There was just a lot of stuff going on, and that helped her get ready for her career and do what she needed to do to support her family, which was me. So you know, it was a very supportive, amazing environment, and as a result, I was super close to my grandparents. Like, they were my parents. Yeah, so I had that very close bond that most people have with their parents, with my grandparents and my parents, but I mean, you know, so I had that privilege of all of that. But, you know, being raised by your grandparents, and I was raised on an old farm, we had a lot of different mentality for, you know, that generation. So I'm a little old school in a lot of my thinking, but I think in a good way. And it really helped develop and shape me. Like, I really strongly feel that by the time you're 3 and 4 years old, you have a foundation to, like, your personality and the rest of your life. And yes, events help shape you and how you deal with them, but you learn a lot of those coping skills very early on in life. So unlike my daughter, who is freaking out right now, hang on. Playground antics. Anyway, yeah, so that's 5 things about me that some people who even know me may not know, and I just wanted to share. And Maya is back at the playground playing a happy girl, and my goodness sakes, you know, it's funny. I really think, just as a side note, as moms, it's just so hard sometimes. We just need to, like, totally support each other and understand that kids will be kids. So she was getting pushed around a little bit, and that's what was going on. So we had a little chat, and she's fine, and now remembers to say no thank you instead of yelling. Anyway, she's pretty good at sticking up for herself these days, which is awesome. I'm very proud of her. So I'll see you guys later, and I hope you all have a great week. Bye!